Welcome to the morning after week 1 here in the CFFL. We'll have a very quick show after last week being a little long. So we'll get right into the action here with the week that was in the CFFL. First of all, we had the dogfight between the Cardinals and the Sasquatches that came down to the wire, 77 to 74.5. Big day from Patrick Mahomes. Also a big day in the Sasquatches for Thielen and Lockett as they each scored 2 touchdowns. But luckily I was able to pull out the win. Next up, we had the Horn Dogs take the top prize with the most points in the week at 100.5 to take down the Price is Right, 100.5 to 62.5. Horn Dogs were led by Mr. Russell Wilson, who had another good week. A couple other players had, well, most of his players had a good week. And as a fun fact, stats are always fun. The last time a team in week 1 that had the high points did not make the playoffs was 2016, when it was the Black Dingoes who finished 6-7 that year. So a very good sign for the Horn Dogs, who I was heard last week. Well, you don't respect the Horn Dogs. I also heard you don't respect the Sasquatches. Both put up really good weeks. So maybe I underestimated them. I did think they'd be good. But maybe not as good as I had anticipated there. And with Price is Right, he had a disappointing outing from a couple of his guys, but Tyreek Hill, surprise, surprise, had a good week with 16.5. Minotaurs and Dr. Dangerous. Minotaurs win 81 to 63.5. Minotaurs led by Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Hopkins, all had big weeks. Dr. Dangerous had Kyler Murray, who had a huge week, 28.5 points. But the rest of his team did not really play well as he looks to rebound next week. Gargoyles fall to the Maulers, 79 to 50.5. The return of the Maulers to the CFFL met with a big week, even after the disappointment of the Gus Edwards injury. Tom Brady, 24.5. David Montgomery, which probably puts a double smile on Michael's heart, with 12.5, with a big week as he looked very strong in the Sunday night game. Gargoyles, Chris Godwin, and Jamar Chase had good weeks, but running backs let him down, and Aaron Rodgers had a big goose egg, not a goose egg, but bad game. Bruisers in a squeaker take down the Little Big Men, 63.5 to 62. Matthew Stafford, 19 points, looked very good on Sunday night. Joe Mixon had 14. Little Big Men had a good week from CeeDee Lamb and the Pittsburgh defense, but Josh Allen disappointed with 11 points. And the Black Dingoes take down the Badgers, 70 to 56. In that one, you had a big week from the Dingoes Dalvin Cook was okay with 11, Waller with 12, Hockenson with 12.5. His tight ends had a big week for the most part. Badgers were led by the possible breakout star this year, Jalen Hurts, with 20. Rest of his team did not play as well. Christian McCaffrey had a great game, but did not find the end zone. The Panthers tends to be their problem. He had 8.5 points. Next up, we'll get to the Player of the Week, and then sorry about your fantasy team, so we'll get to that right away. Player of the Week, as I mentioned earlier, Dr. Dangerous's Kyler Murray had 28.5 points, a good passing and rushing game for him. Maybe this is his breakout this year where he establishes himself like he did the first half of last year before the shoulder injury as maybe the top player in fantasy football this year, which is definitely possible. And finally, sorry about your fantasy teams. Anybody who had a Packer, Aaron Rodgers had 2.5. Aaron Jones had 0.5 for me. Tunyon had a big fat 0. And Devontae Adams had 2.5. The only one who was reasonably decent. Packer fans, I'm smiling at this. However, nothing. I mean, it's one game. If they do this against the Lions, then I think we can all, anti-Packer fans, all can really smile. Because it's going to be a really long year if they do that against the Lions. Chances are it will not happen. But that'll be the show today. Very quickly, I'll probably be back. Probably in 2 weeks, usually I do it. So I'll play out, and we'll head out. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck this week unless your team price is right. And then, hope not so much. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.